Today we're going to explore this Old Town Solo canoe. I'm going to talk to you about its pros, its cons. I've had this for 2 years now, so I'm quite experienced using it. And I'll talk to you about why I purchased this in the first place. We're also going to go out on the water. My wife and I live on a little river here, and so I think it's the perfect way to demonstrate some stability, some key features you want to think about, and possibly even looking at, is this right for you based on the length, the width, the type of lifestyle you have? Do you want to use it for fishing? Is it recreation? Is it for hunting? You name it, we're probably going to cover it in today's video. From one end of the canoe all the way to the other end, you're looking at 11 feet and 9 inches, hence the name 119. This canoe is great because it only weighs 50 pounds. One of the reasons why I purchased this canoe is because I needed something more than a kayak. I get questions often asking, should I purchase a fishing kayak or a fishing canoe, or a kayak that I can use to access places to go hunting, or should I get a canoe that's comparable in size? I'm going to leave that up to you, and maybe you can decide that after this video. But I would say that the reason why I purchased this is simply because it weighs as much as the kayak I used to have, and it's bigger. I live in Wisconsin, so to store this canoe, I just put it up here on this 8-foot shelving unit that I built. Considering that this is almost 12 feet long, it easily fits on top of this and it keeps it out of the way during the winter months. It's basically just like storing a kayak. So if you've ever had a kayak, it's kind of the same concept. You can lift it up by yourself, an average person can anyway, and you can store it away for as long as you need to. Since this canoe is 50 pounds, just like my old kayak was, I can pretty much treat it just the same by getting it down from this shelving unit right here. Anybody can do this pretty much on their own. Just keep in mind that it's 2 feet longer than most kayaks if you're used to using kayaks instead of canoes. I used to have a Lifetime Teton kayak. This is what it looks like. I've done a couple reviews on that kayak on this channel. I'll put links below. So maneuvering something that's almost 12 feet long instead of 10, but it weighs the same amount, can be a little bit more difficult just because of the length. However, it's got so much more space and can hold so much more weight inside the canoe. If you look at the depth here in the back, you've got so much storage in comparison. You've got a ton of storage up here and a ton of storage right up there. I'm currently sitting on the seat located in the center of this canoe. If you look here, my feet are fully stretched out. I'm 5'11", just for reference. I have a lot of storage where I can put a deer stand, I can put backpacks, I can put all kinds of things up here in this storage compartment. The fact that it's open right there and it's kind of a blank canvas gives you a lot of options. Likewise, if I turn around here, I've got lots of storage back here. I can pretty much reach everything. If it's stuffed way over there, I would have a problem, but generally in here, I can reach. You also have storage from this seat up to this area right over here. This is where you're gonna wanna keep things for really quick access, like your tackle box, maybe your net. And then also, we've got this seat right here in which you can slide things underneath. Underneath this seat is usually where I keep a tackle tray or two. You've got about 5 inches from the seat down to the bottom of the canoe. To be honest with you, the biggest complaint I get about this canoe is that the seat is too low. We're going to talk about that later once we get out on the water. You might be able to see the water that we're going to way down over there. This canoe only being 50 pounds, and especially because it's empty, is pretty easy to drag. However, I've got a better idea. I got a little river right here, so carrying it like this is no problem as long as you don't have to drag it too far. But if you do have to drag it a long ways, I would recommend getting a kayak or a canoe cart. The question is, should you use a double paddle or a single paddle canoe paddle? And my answer is a double paddle kayak paddle, because you're so much more efficient. You're sitting in the middle of the canoe. You keep your blades in the water. You can go so much faster. You're not switching over constantly. One thing I always recommend people do is get a good rope. This is a rope. It's easy on the hands. It's about 12 feet long maybe. Put a carabiner on here and clip this onto your belt or your belt loop, wrap around your waist, do whatever you have to, so that whether it's a kayak or canoe, it doesn't float away on you, especially a river like this. Slide this end down. And there she goes. I can use this rope to pull it back up because it is quite steep here. And unfortunately, this is the best option we have at the moment. All right, here we are, cruising along. That steep hill I went down was like right over there, so that wasn't great. Here we go. As far as stability, it's fine as long as you are seated on the seat at the correct seat height. Where I'm sitting right now, it's really important that you don't modify the seat, in my opinion, because as soon as I modify the seat or sit higher than where it is, it feels too wobbly for me. Your center of gravity kind of gets messed up a little bit. And the way I discovered that was because I thought it was too low to begin with, just for a comfort reason. And maybe that's true. However, I tried putting a boat cushion here and then a canoe seat on top of the boat cushion. So I went up about, I don't know, 6 inches or so, and I was definitely more unstable than I would like to be. So that's definitely a con of this canoe. And I've heard about people complaining about that for a long time. I would not recommend modifying the seat. I've seen videos of people using angle iron to raise up the seat a little bit. And maybe that works for them, but when I raised up my seat just by putting a boat cushion and a canoe seat in here, it didn't work. It was just too unstable. So if I'm out fishing for more than 2 hours, I'm gonna put just a canoe seat in here so I have that back support, but that's it. It's just a canoe seat and that only lifts it up about 1 inch. I would not use the boat cushion plus the canoe seat. It's just too high for me. And if you're taller than me, you know, I'm 5'11", if you're taller than that, it's probably even more unstable, I'm guessing, for you just because of your height alone. In terms of tracking, going straight, there's nothing on the bottom as far as like a rudder or anything to really keep you going straight. It doesn't track as well. I mean, it's not terrible, but you will sway side to side a decent amount. And if the wind gets you from the side, you are absolutely going to get pushed around in here quite a bit. There's a decent amount of current on the river right now, especially since it's high. I went upstream and I had no problem going upstream by myself with this little canoe. I've struggled before going upstream in other vessels, but this moves along quite a bit. There's not a lot of resistance as you're paddling. Alrighty, we're back on dry land. Give this rope a tug and boat comes right out of the water. Super easy to maneuver, nice and smooth. Anybody can handle this if you're going out on the water. In a future video, I will show you how I load this thing out for hunting. But if you're thinking of this for a fishing vessel and you're trying to get into some backwoods lakes, canoe up and down a little river like you just saw me do, this is perfect. When I look at this seat like we talked about, it is too low, but I don't have an alternative solution other than raising it up, but that's not great either because then you're unstable, in my opinion, based on my experience. As far as like the sides, the gunnels and things over here, where this beam goes across for extra support, I actually like that because that gives you an opportunity to put things like a carabiner where I can strap in my backpack if I take one, strap in some other things. I do plan on doing another video with this canoe showing the loadout for fishing, the loadout for hunting, and different types of activities you might have. So stay tuned for that one if you're curious. If you like to duck hunt, deer hunt, fish, of course, make sure you hit that like button if this has been a helpful video for you. And also don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button to subscribe to this channel and see more videos concerning the Old Town 119 solo canoe. See you next time.